Hey everybody, are you ready for another art lesson? Because I'm ready for another art lesson. Today we're going to be doing some optical illusions. So grab a piece of paper or a few pieces of paper, your sketchbook, a pencil, colored pencils, and maybe even a black Sharpie marker, a fine liner if you've got one. And meet me over here on the overhead. Optical illusions are super fun and easy. Some of them can be a little bit more complicated, but I'm going to start with some easy ones today because um, really all you need to know is how to manipulate the lines in a certain way in your drawing to create the illusion of the picture moving. And so I'm going to show you how to do a couple of those today. We're going to be doing a like a firework kind of burst, and we're going to be making a spinning wheel. So those are the two I'm going to show you today. All right, let's go over to the overhead. Okay, so I've got my pad set up already. The first one I'm going to show you is the burst. It's pretty easy to do. And what you do is you can even divide your paper. You don't need to use the whole sheet of paper for this, but I'm going to make it really big, so I'm going to do it on a sheet of paper, one sheet of paper to show you. So what you're going to do is your middle right here, you're going to figure out what center is for you and put a dot. And then you're going to draw, I would say, let's see, got one, different size circles and at distances that are different from the center. So I've got one down here, one right here. That's probably too small, but we can fix it. I'll show you how. And then one right here. So I've got 6 for right now, just to show you. And this one I'm going to make a little bit bigger, so I'm just going to put another circle around it. And I'm going to show you what these can turn into also, because you can do lots of fun things with these. So you've got your point in the center, and you've got your circles. If 5, 6 is good. 7 or 8 might be a little too much to begin with, but definitely 4 or 5 is great to start. And 6, if you feel like you can do this after you watch the video. And so after I've got my circles, I'm also going to be using my pencil because I want to show you guys the common mistake that happens with this particular optical illusion. I guess I'll start with the mistake. What happens a lot is, and you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to even use a different color to show you what happens. Okay, so I'm going to use the color blue. What happens a lot of times is when people are learning this illusion, they make their lines like this. And that's not the right way to do it. The right way to do it is to find the outside edges of the circle, the widest part here, and make your line or your kind of cone shape come from there. Now, do you see the difference? You see where the original 2 lines I started with, why they're wrong? And now what I did was I added these 2 lines. I kept the mistake there. Obviously, I can't erase. And now what you can do is, even if you do make a mistake, I can actually use that to be part of my coloring experience. And I'm just using like darker on the outside, a little bit lighter on the inside. And I'm going to go all the way around and I'm going to show you. Okay. And now I'm going to go back to my Sharpie marker because I just wanted to show you the mistake that a lot of people make is by starting to connect to the middle in too small of an area. You got to really use the outside of the circle for this to work the right way. And then this is what's going to end up happening when we're done is you're going to end up with this really cool like burst. This is a huge circle right here that I put. And you're making like a cone shape. So this is what shape would you describe that as? Triangle. Thinking of it as triangles that connect the circles to the center, or cones. Now I'm turning my paper around rather than me trying to turn my hands upside down to draw. It's easier for me. But you guys go ahead and do what's best and easiest for you. Okay, so now I've got this cool burst. When you get really comfortable at doing this, you can add more circles in the spaces that are empty to create more of an one, maybe a little bit shorter in between there to the center. Okay, so I added a few more, and then what you can do is you can play around. You can color, like I did with the blue, or you can add, you can do color, and then you can add these curved lines. They're slightly curved to make it look like, see? So it gives the illusion that that it's going like this. And then there are lots of fun things that you can do with this. You can turn these into flowers if you want to. They could become maybe on the inside of the circle, they could become flowers. Or you can color the surface of these, make them look like they're cones. Or I don't know, what do you want to make with them? Or you can make something come out like as if it's like a party, one of those party things that shoots out confetti. You can use lots of fun colors to give the impression that it's something for a party or festive. And you could do lots of fun things with this. But I just want you to give it a try to do the dot in the center, and then the 5 or 6 circles around the outside of the dot, and then connect them all with the cone, okay? And make them all go to the center. Once you get comfortable and once you get good at doing it, you can make whatever you want with these. And the next optical illusion we're gonna do is the spinning wheel. I'm turning my page. Now for this one, you might want to find something circular to trace. In this case, I have a sundae top from Dairy Queen. I like some hot fudge sundaes sometimes. And I made my circle. I just wanted my circle to be like perfectly round. It doesn't have to be. And then the other thing that you can do is get a ruler or something straight, and you'll see what I'm going to do. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to cheat a little bit here. I'm going to fold this paper since I can see it because it's permanent marker. I'm folding it down the center. That way I know where half is. And that's not supposed to happen. Sorry about that. It's not supposed to connect to my computer. And so I'm going to trace that line down the center. You're going to need that line. So trace that line. And then again, I'm going up. I'm cheating a little bit because I'm finding half. So I folded that in half. And I'm just using my straight edge just to guide me to make the line. Okay, now it's going to get a little tricky. We need to divide these 4 sections into half. Okay, so again, you can use your little hack down like that, makes a crease in half, or you can just use a straight edge. And look, if you don't get it exactly half, that's okay. If it's close, that's good. Here's the other side. I'm just matching up the edges. To get the crease right. All right, now here comes the fun part. So in each of these, we're going to be using a series of lines to create the illusion of movement, that this is going to end up looking like it's spinning. And watch how I do it. Every line is going to start from the center. Okay, that's your meeting point. So, for example, I'm going to work in this section right here. So I'm going to start with a line. It's going to come up from the center and go up slightly. Go up all the way almost to the top, not exactly to the top. And then it's going to curve over the same shape of the outside of the circle. Then the next line kind of looks like a section of an orange. Then the next line is going to start from the center, come up like this, and do the same thing. It's like a backwards 7. If you've done this already before, then now is a chance for you to get better at it, practice it. And so again, in the next section, same thing, start from the center. You always start from the center. The mistakes that I see happen from when you don't start from the center. I'll show you what one of the mistakes that's commonly made is. A common mistake, and I'm going to do this with pencil, is to start at the center, but then when there's no more space, to come up like this. And that's not what we're doing, okay? So I'm going to go ahead and erase that, and I'm going to go back to doing it the way that it's supposed to be done. Oops. I just had a glitter bottle fall. Okay. From the center, up and over, backwards 7, up, over, backwards 7. From the center, up. That center is supposed to get really dark, okay? That darkness is created by all the lines starting there. Okay, see where we're going? Now I'm going to turn it again. I want to work smarter, not harder. Don't need to turn your hand, just turn the paper. The tighter these lines are, the better this illusion is going to look. But when you're just starting out, it's hard to get that sometimes, so that's why I'm just giving you a really simple one to do. From the center, up, and I'm not always able to create straight lines. They're a little wobbly, but that's okay because it kind of adds to the look of the illusion, as long as they're not too wobbly. Okay. And then again from the center. You're leaving a tiny little space in between each of these lines. But you see, we're always coming up from the center. Always coming up from the center. Two more sections of the pizza pie here. See, I kind of curved this line right here, but you really want to try to keep it nice and crisp. Like a nice, sharp, crisp line. Okay, one more section and we should have our illusion. Okay, now we've created this really cool illusion. It kind of looks like it's spinning around. You see how over here my lines weren't as tight, so there's more space, and it doesn't look bad. It's just over here these lines are tighter. I should have tried to pay attention a little bit better and get those lines tighter. So you're going to find that happens sometimes at all levels, whether you're really good at stuff or whether you're just starting out. It's okay. You're going to make mistakes, and it's fine to do that. That's how you learn, okay? So Don't worry if it doesn't look perfect or if you have to start over a couple times. That's okay. The most important thing on this one is to remember that your lines all start from the center and they all make the same shape as the line right before it. They just get smaller or shorter as they go into toward the end. It gets to be a shorter line. The first line is the longest, a little smaller, a little smaller, a little smaller, a little smaller, and the smallest. And then what you can do is you can use your colors and you can just experiment. You can do each section a different color. You can do each line a different color. You can make rainbow. You can pick 2 or 3 colors that you really, really like that go together well. In this case, I'm just using blue, and then I'm going to use a second color for the outside, which I'll show you in just a second. So just for contrast, I'm going to use green. I know it's kind of hard to see the glare of my light here. Let me see if I can angle it for you. See how that's green down there, right here? I'm going to do that the whole way around. You can go for an ombre effect. If you want to pick like 2 or 3 colors and start with the darkest color here, middle color, and then last color with the lightest color, or the opposite, darker in here, middle color, lightest color. I think that the darker color should probably go toward the darkest part of this, which is the center. And you can cut this out and glue it onto something or use it for something else. One year, my nephew, who's a little bit younger than me, he loved this design. I showed him something that I made with it, and he loved it. So for Christmas that year, I made him one of these, but I did it really big, and I painted it. He loved it. He hung it up. It was in a frame. He hung it up on his wall, and he still has it. So get the hang of this and you do a good job on it. This is a really cool art project. It's a really cool illusion. And then show other people how to make this. Go show it to them and they're going to be like, whoa, how'd you do that? And you get to say, oh, it's easy. I can show you. You get to teach them. So now we've got the 2. Let me see if I turn my light off, if it's less. Let's see. A little harder to see because the light's not there, but you get the point, right? You see the blue here and the green on the outside. Now you can do this with watercolors. If you used a permanent marker, it's alcohol based, so you can paint over it with watercolors if you want to. You can use crayons, colored pencil. I'm trying to think of what else you could. Markers. You can use markers too. You can just leave it black and white, or you can get a colored sheet of paper, something maybe you have like a cool fluorescent color paper, and then just do it with black ink, so that way your color on your background is your color of your circle, and then you're just using the black ink to make the lines, and that would be really cool. So we've got this, and we've got the burst. And I'd like for you to try both of them if you can, if you've got the time to try them both. And just have fun, guys. Just have fun with colors. Have fun with, where you're putting stuff. Just have fun with your space. And let it be relaxing. Don't let it be something that's stressful. Get somebody to do it with you and help you with it and share ideas. Okay, that's called collaborating. And that's a good thing to do when you're creating stuff. Okay? And I can't wait to see what you guys make. Have a great weekend. And thanks for watching. I'll see you guys soon.